The demand for gold jewellery has fallen. 16 years ago, it was 84% of global demand, and now it's only 56%. There are a couple of reasons for this. One is price, and the other is fashion. When I got married in 2000, I chose a gold wedding band. These days, everyone chooses platinum. And of course, the price is really influential for people too. But our jewellery choices are largely irrelevant because it's China and India that comprise almost 60% of global demand for jewellery. Electronics is really interesting. There is gold in your smartphone. There is gold in a TV, in a calculator, in a GPS device. It's such a great conductor that it's in lots of electronics that we take for granted these days. But before you think about stripping the gold out of your phone, let me tell you at current prices, it's only worth about 90 pence. But the demand for electronics has slumped slightly because global slowdown and global consumer demand has fallen. Well, the scrap part of the market is really important, and when gold prices rise, people do start selling jewellery. A few years ago when the prices spiked, you'll all remember the cash for gold envelopes coming through your door, offering for you to post your gold off and get immediate cash returns. Nowadays, you can find videos on YouTube telling you how to take apart your smartphone and extract the gold. When the prices rise, that's what people do. The use of gold in dentistry has really fallen. You don't see that many people wandering around these days with gold fillings, and that's because the laboratories have moved to non-precious alternatives. Gold mining has actually increased over the last 6 years. We're all told there's a limited amount of supply of gold in the ground, but we are mining more of it at the moment. And that's because technology's improved so much. It allows us to extract gold nowadays that we couldn't extract 20, 30 years ago. So investment has been key, and our extraction methods are better. But a couple of years ago, when money was a bit tighter post the great financial crisis, we have seen a reduction in that investment, and therefore we expect that extraction will fall slightly. Gold mining will decrease because of cuts made to investments 3 or 4 years ago. Now, the biggest producers of gold in the world, one country per continent. So in Europe, it's Russia, it's China in Asia, and it's Australia down in the southern hemisphere. The US is a large producer of gold, as is Peru. So these are huge producers of gold. South Africa is the last one on the African continent, the 6th largest countries producing gold in the world. Now, the largest gold producing company in the world is Barrick Gold, and it's based in Canada, which is the 7th largest producing country. Europe has a very, very small part to play in global gold production. And actually, without Russia, us Europeans are virtually insignificant, producing less than 1% of global gold each year. Central banks are a very important part of gold, the gold industry. At the end of last year, 1/5 of the gold ever mined was held by central banks as part of their reserves. Central banks have got a pretty bad habit though. They tend to buy when the price is high and sell when the price is low. This is a crazy relationship, but it holds over the last 16 years. And those will remember Gordon Brown selling the UK's gold reserves between 1999 and 2002. He sold 395 tonnes of gold at a much lower price than we are seeing in the market today. The highest price that gold reached was actually just over $1,900, and that was on the 5th of September 2011. We're now 35% off that level, much lower gold prices now than we had back then. We talked about gold jewellery demand declining, and actually it's been compensated for by the increase in investment demand, which has ballooned to 37% recently. Now, it's much easier now for the average individual to get gold exposure, to take gold positions in their portfolio, and that is because of the invention of exchange-traded funds. Courtiers did have a position in gold back in 2014, and we made some money on the gold price falling. But recently we have found there are better ways of taking out some protection on your portfolios, and for that we've tended to use some put options, which protect in the event of an equity market decline, not just a change in the gold price.